Hey, so I just wanted to provide a quick little unscripted video in regards to some of my dreams last night. In particular, I've been requesting feedback from the spirit in regards to the context of what would an ideal church look like? What would an ideal religious energy which actually represents the will of God look like? Because a lot of people, when they view religion right now, they think of it as this like super demonic thing, where it's just used to control and take power away from people, which obviously isn't really its intent. It's just trying to guide people towards a better path, and for the most part. Um, but I'm a little bit concerned about what would God want an actual religion to look like, or how would He want the energy to function. And the small feedback that I got in that regard tonight, and I'm going to continue to meditate on this over time. But the vision that I got last night was that I started the dream in a sort of raucous party environment, where everybody was drinking. There was loud, annoying music playing, and everybody's just trying to prove things to each other. And the specific image which was presented was that my earthly father was like the one hosting the event, and so I was kind of like stuck in that area because of him. And he was like bragging about some young woman who he'd recently hooked up with, which is just the last thing that anybody wants to hear about is their parents. You know, nobody wants to hear about that. So that was kind of the energy it was presented that I was kind of stuck with, and all these people who were happy about that energy. And eventually, I saw that there was like a gathering of other people on the balcony outside of the house, and this gathering was I wouldn't say that it was like a traditional like Christian the idea that people have of Christianity, but it was kind of implied that it was supposed to be like a Christian gathering. But basically, it was just a bunch of like weird, gentle people just like hanging out and doing whatever they felt like doing, and communing with each other, outside of the energy of the very energetic party people. And so I kind of went out to that balcony, and there was this woman who was dressed as like a clown. She had big clown makeup on and a wig and everything. And I kind of sat down, and she came up and she sat next to me and leaned on me, and then we kind of began just watching some videos together. Um, so to me, that just kind of represents the ideal juxtaposition between like the ways of the world, the normal energy of mankind, and what a church should be. It should be like or what an ideal religious energy should be. It should be like a safe area, like a real safe space for weirdos. Not people think of like deviants when they think of weirdos, but for people who wouldn't really fit in with deviants, wouldn't really fit in with normal people, like actual people who are on their own level, autistic people or whatever. Like they should feel like they have the opportunity to come ask questions and communicate with people in a spiritual context. Um, so yeah, it really just comes down to the sense of community and the opportunity to really connect with other people is I think what's missing in most religious environments. And if I could kind of remake the way that religions do things in my ideal image, that's a big topic, but I won't get into the whole details of it, especially without a script over here. I mean, just generate or making the sense of the opportunity to achieve community, the opportunity to actually make friends, more available is a major part of that. Like currently in the religious ritual, everybody just kind of most people just kind of go in, you talk, maybe you know some people, and then you talk a little bit afterwards. But there isn't really like a major component of like, hey, this is our community. Come meet people. Come make friends. Like you kind of have to go out of your way to really like to achieve that. Yeah, it's not like a component of the process. So like a perfect image or like just an ideal image, like I would say that it would be cool if all Sunday, or if churches had the opportunity all Sunday long for people to come volunteer, on various projects, and just communicate with each other, try to relate with each other. And I know you think, oh, it's supposed to be a day of rest after we've worked all week, but if you're volunteering for something that you actually want to do, you're actually like, oh, hey, this is a cool project that would improve my community and that allows me to, meet some people who are helping out with a cool project. That's a very different thing than work, really, because it's something that's actually enjoyable, and it wouldn't have to take place on Sunday specifically, but the creation of like community projects that are beneficial not just to like the church family but to like the whole community, which they encourage people to have the opportunity to volunteer in. I feel like that should be a major component of the ideal format of religious institutions moving into the future if they're truly seeking to be representatives of God in the world. So yeah, that was my small feedback dream right there. There was a second dream, or second component of a dream which I recalled, which was that I was observing the solar system, and a Lucifer meteor came through the solar system, and there is actually a meteor called like the Lucifer meteor. It's like 1930 Lucifer or something, and I don't know if this was related to that or if this was just symbolic or if it was more representative of like the astral physics of various objects. But when this meteor came through the solar system, it showed that it like pulled energy out of every single planet as it was doing so, and it sent the energy somewhere. It didn't seem like it was sending the energy to itself, but just somewhere else, hell or something. Um, and so after that meteor came through the solar system, a bunch of other meteors started coming through, and it was implied that God was building these meteors as they weren't just meteors; they were like celestial clockwork. Each of them had like this specific, interesting purposes for as they passed through. They would influence the planets or influence various energetic components of physics and the universe in various ways to kind of mitigate damage that was being caused by uh, malicious components of the reality. So that was an interesting imagery, but yeah. So those were my dreams last night. Just wanted to kind of provide this small update. Thanks for tuning in.